You're tuned into news across the galaxy where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the NAG boys. Let's start nagging.
What a ball for Ricky Peach.
News across the galaxy. Keep on nagging, guys. Your six-time MLS Cup champion, LA Galaxy.
That was great, Chewy. Welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. I am Bryant Lobos. Tonight, joining me is Mr. Edgar Zuniga. How you doing tonight, sir? Yeah,
That's it.
We also got Eduardo Campos. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Well,
Yeah.
hanging in there.
And then next to him is Gutinho. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh wait, I can't even point right, fool.
Well, before we get to talking more shit about the Galaxy, we're gonna take a moment, and I'm gonna leave the floor for you, Eddie. Go ahead, sir.
I wasn't really ready for that, but thank you. So sad to say, if you've been watching the show for a while, you probably are familiar with my little girl Nala. Unfortunately, Nala is now in doggy heaven. There she is. She happens to be the very first post too, which is crazy, in her NAG Instagram. Come to find out. And I know it's not the same for everybody, but for those who know, losing a pet is like losing a member of the family. It's it's that it's that person that the one that no matter how your day's going, no matter how things may have gone, when they see you, they're just happy. It's like that unconditional love that no human can give you. She lived a full life. It's still hard. But yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna miss Nala, and you may have heard her in previous episodes barking when she wants to come inside. She's been on camera a few times, obviously on the social media. So yeah, rest in peace, Nala. This one's for you.
Rest in peace. Some Olipop for her.
It's an athletic. Just don't be scared. Don't be worried.
So yeah, we'll take a quick moment just to in her honor. Alrighty, lads. I guess we gotta talk about this stupid game.
Nah, let's spread the misery around and talk about all the misery in LA sports teams right now.
More
'Cause
misery.
even with the Dodgers doing okay, people still have to bitch about them anyway. But if you really want to look at what's going on in the sporting landscape, I think like the Dodgers and the Galaxy made some kind of deal with some kind of like demon or something, because all our sports teams are like really bad except for the Dodgers, obviously, because they're like they can afford to like buy whatever the hell they want because they don't have a salary cap or anything like that. Well, they do, but they don't care. But if in case you missed it, right now the LA Kings kingdom is on fire. They got doused in oil and set aflame. The Kings blew a 2-0 lead in their series. Their coach made a stupid decision, which destroyed the whole series. And for the fourth year in a row, the Kings lost to the Oilers. The Lakers, the Lakers are just outmatched. I know I'm a Clipper fan, but I was watching what was happening, and I really thought the Lakers might have had a shot against Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves. And no, who knows where the hell they go from here, because LeBron is still there, but Luka's supposed to be the face of the franchise, so who knows? Um, And then, of course, I mean, me and Brian are the Clippers fans, and we were like, this is the last hope. and they played okay for the first half, and then I was at a kid party, and I was chatting with Bryant, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then he's all like, "It's not looking good, man." And I look at the score, I'm like, "Oh my god!" And yeah, they like gave up in the second half, and they got blown out, and so it's
Wait,
just. And then I was like, "Do we really? I mean, do we really need to cap it off with watching a Galaxy versus Sporting KC game?" Because I know people were saying that in the Premier League there was a game between was it oh my god, it was the two last place teams. I can't think about them right now. Luton Town and
Everton.
Leicester.
Mhm.
And
Leicester's last play, second for real.
I don't know.
I don't know, but they were really bad, man. And so it might have been Southampton. I don't know. I think it was Southampton and Luton Town, whatever. The whole point is that people in England were calling it, instead of the Classico, they're calling it the Crapico. And and then I looked at the Galaxy versus Kansas City game, and I'm like, who the hell like thought that? I mean, MLS had no idea, right? When they schedule these games for Sunday night football, right, or Sunday night soccer, whatever. Kansas City and LA would be second to last in the West. And what we saw, I mean, damn, man,
Can
what a horrible gay way. I mean, what a horrible like way to just cap off this weekend. Because I even had like an LAFC fan like hit me up, right, and he's all like, he goes like, even as a hater, this game was boring to watch. I was like, damn, dude.
can I say that this whole Sunday night soccer thing is pretty. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think ever since it started, like it's been, I think it's delivered. We, I hate to say it, no, we don't deserve Sunday night soccer again after that, bro, because we were terrible. We embarrassed ourselves, bro. We let all of MLS down by having this be the last game of the fucking weekend.
Yes. Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
shout out to Nate and Durek, a good buddy from Vancouver. Man, you guys are amazing right now with those Caps, man. They're fun to watch. At least I watched the Caps. I'm like, that's some fun soccer they're having up there. But screw the
Yeah,
Oilers.
that team is actually pretty good. Yeah. But before we get to that, we do have a super chat. Chewy, hit me with the twinkle.
Yay.
Special effects come through my
Damn.
speakers. It's weird.
Who's responsible for taking accountability for this season so far, and what changes can happen, if any, for the rest of the season? Thank you, guys.
Circle back.
We'll circle back to that one. To keep that in
Yeah.
mind, who's responsible?
The fans
But yes,
still showing up.
for showing up. Before we get into the game, there was news that Fox will be replaying the LA Galaxy games.
Oh,
Yay.
why?
It's bad enough that it's Fox already. Let's just say that. The
No,
fact
I
that
mean,
we're gonna
I
be
mean, the
watching.
local Fox affiliate is okay. They're okay, but
They're gonna end
still,
up they're gonna end up killing some old timers, dude. Those old timers that don't know how to fucking use the internet or stream live TV. They're gonna get to see this fucking team all of a sudden with their little 20-year antennas and shit. They're gonna be like, holy shit, this has been happening. Fuck, bro.
It's horrible.
Yes.
And what a time to have that deal when
I
this team
know
looks this bad.
it's horrible. Why? Oh man, I can't wait for them to watch this game on Friday.
So I wasn't
jeez.
really sure of how they scheduled the games or how they're gonna schedule the replay of the games. But I mean, either way, if you have the Apple MLS TV app going already, you could just watch them suck again there.
Yeah, but
Plenty of times during
I
the
guess
week.
it's for those people that can't afford it or don't want to pay
Yeah.
for it. But at the same time, it's like I think that's a very, very small market. I think the people that are like big hardcore fans or really want to watch games find a way to watch it. I think there's very, very like those ratings are gonna be, yeah, they're gonna be not great. And it's Fridays, right?
I think they said Fridays. Fridays at noon. I think.
It's really
I could be
weird
wrong.
that they're doing that because you would think it would be live. Obviously, would be the better option, but it's a strange thing. I don't know, man.
It's more expensive if it's live.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
still.
I don't get it. I could honestly say maybe there's something we don't see, we don't get, but I personally don't get the deal. I mean, hopefully they're getting some good money out of it. We'll play some
Maybe
sexy
somebody
music.
lost a bet, dude.
Play some sexy music. Play some sexy music.
But I mean, well, to kind of put in perspective,
The funny thing
the
is that he didn't even hear it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
dude.
Guti. Ever
You
since
say
the Galaxy started wearing those jerseys,
what?
ever since the guys started wearing those jerseys, they haven't won anything.
Yeah, it doesn't
Dude.
matter. You guys still wear it though.
6 stars is pretty heavy on the jersey.
Yeah.
I still think that one's better than the other one. So, whatever.
Which one?
The previous year, I didn't like that one. Actually, I don't like either of our kids, but whatever.
So anyway, with this Fox deal, maybe because the team was good last season, they weren't expecting the other Galaxies to be this bad this season.
But
that's
why
why
wait
they-
till now for the deal
got-
though? That's the thing.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe they already had something on the table.
It's obviously money for the Galaxy, and that's the only thing. Because I don't think it's gonna get that many more eyes, right? Because again, like the eyes that you need are, I think, from the outside now. Because you need that global exposure with like your Marco Royces, us of having all those big names already. I don't think that there's like much of a local market that wants to watch a replay. It's different if it's live, but a
Yeah.
replay 6 days later,
Doesn't make
don't-
sense.
I don't really see a bump in like it doesn't make sense for rating for new fans, for ratings, for in many ways. I get it. There's gonna be money. The Galaxy's gonna get money for it because it's a TV deal. But any other reasons, I don't see why. I don't see why. I would want to know where the Galaxy was like. Oh, this
That's
is
probably
great-
Apple's money, not Galaxy. It's probably
Oh,
Apple.
yeah, because they have to play the. Yeah, it's true. Probably Galaxy
Yeah.
doesn't even get a piece.
Yeah.
Or a very small piece. I can't imagine that Fox is paying, a lot for this. So it'd be interesting to see where they were like, oh, this is a great idea for exposure because why? I don't know. I don't see it for any more reason than money.
Yeah. Well,
That it could have, like Brian said, it could have been set up since last year with Apple, where whoever won the championship was going to get some type of contract with the local affiliate, probably.
a lot of people don't even have
100%.
cable nowadays either.
I was gonna
Everything's
say 100%. They're
streaming.
probably gonna have commercials. Can you imagine, like
Oh,
Every 15 minutes?
We'll be right back. You're not gonna miss anything.
It's before we
Recorded.
scored the own goal, and they go into commercials. We'll be right back.
Fox production was maybe not the best, but they had like interesting ideas. I remember in the past, like that were pretty cool. Like I remember this. There was like
Oh, yeah.
this,
Showing off where players lived.
that that was Spectrum, but no, but like dude, I don't know if you remember this, Edgar. I used to have it on DVR. That's how long ago it was. There was
DVR.
that. It was 2005, so it's easy to remember. It was 2005, the Cup run when they did like a behind the scenes type thing, like a dramatic. I don't remember who directed it, but it was narrated by Edward James Olmos. That was like, and Fox did that. Fox did that. Fox also used to do like a condensed version of replays, which was cool. I think it was like an hour altogether, and it was just like the important parts of the game. So maybe to do something like that would be cool. Like you watch a different version because maybe you don't want to watch a whole game, but you also don't want to watch just the highlights.
Yeah, and you're right. I think they were on Fox Sports, and also Sportsnet LA had that one channel was devoted to the Galaxy, and they would have Galaxy content all the time, and it was interesting because they would
Backstage
make
Galaxy.
they would make up stuff like, oh, the 10 worst losses in team history, or the 10 biggest broncas, and that's in the stadium.
Yeah, I remember that.
And fucking Watch Mojo before Watch Mojo.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Oh yeah, and Chewy's on 1 and 2. So I forgot to mention that.
But yeah, what's up, Chewy?
What's up, Chewy?
What up? What up?
Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we get to watch them again on Friday. In other
Damn.
news,
You have to be
Go
a
ahead.
real masochist to sit there and watch that game again, dude.
well, I'm gonna watch it again just to feel
Damn.
something. In other news,
Oh,
Axel Senge is loaned to the USL, to the Phoenix Rising FC. We had a small conversation about him not too long ago with Edgar. The roster depth. He was a center back, I believe.
Yes, he was. It's interesting. Good buddy Bob Bentimaglia, he who covers Red Bull, he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, can you please put together a depth chart for the LA Galaxy?" I hadn't really thought about it. So one day when light when work was light, I sat there and I started looking at it and I started mapping out the LA Galaxy depth chart. And then I looked, there was this one guy I had never ever seen. It was this guy, Exo and Seki, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" and he was on roster. He was listed on the team's website. We just had never seen him. Maybe he was at the stadium and we never like noticed him. But now he's gone. That opens up a roster spot and obviously an international spot too. So
Edgar, he had like snuck himself onto the roster somehow. Was getting a paycheck, and you came
yeah,
up with
right.
that list, and
He
you
busted
you,
he
I was like,
busted
what
Eddie
the
at
fuck is
WrestleMania.
this?
you fucked him over.
Hey, wait,
Yeah,
hold
man.
on. I got a question. What's happening Friday?
The Galaxy replay on
The
Fox.
Galaxy
Stay
replay.
tuned.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck is
They're doing
that?
another watch party.
Yeah,
They're
hell
running back
no.
the pub crawl.
Oh God.
It's more news. Well, before the match, Dejan had a couple quotes. I seen a tweet by Alex Reese. If you guys don't know who he is, he writes a lot of stuff about the Galaxy, and he's very good at what he does. Follow him on Twitter. So there's
He's
this
better than
quote.
Edgar.
There's this quote by Dejan. I was a good friend with every other guy, but not so much outside of the field. But on the field, we are like brothers, and that's why we won the league. What do you guys make of that quote?
It's a professional quote. It's a I mean,
Safe
it's like a
quote.
like a professional foul, I guess you could say. It's like a professional quote. I mean,
Sounds like the media person for Sporting PC wrote it.
Yeah, PR was like,
I
here, read
mean,
this.
when you think about it, what are Dayan's like hobbies? He plays a lot of chess. You've seen his videos, right? He would go around the city challenging people, street chess people, and then he would play chess. And I don't know, maybe he would ride horses on the side,
I'm,
like
I feel like
Nikola
I feel like
Jokic.
us watching him play chess would be better than this game.
Yeah, no,
100%.
there's actually a video where like I shared it with the Kansas City guys when they got him right, and I was like, yeah, here's the video of him, and I found this video where he goes, I think he goes to like Santa Monica, and there's like a this infamous street chess player who like he'll like take anybody who challenges him, and they're telling him this guy's good, and the whole time the guy is like an older guy, he's just talking crap to Dayon the entire time. He's like insulting him and everything, and Dayon starts beating the pants off of him. And then
Whoa.
at some point, Dayon gets distracted and he accidentally like moves a piece by mistake, and the guy's like, "That's it, you lost right there because you moved that piece." And everybody's like, "No, no, it's okay. I thought we were playing street rules." And the guy was like, "No, no, 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 we're not
Street
doing that
rules.
anymore." And he's all like, That's it," and he just got up and walked away. And the comments, everybody's like talking crap about the guy, like, "What a little bitch,"
He got
he was
DQ'd.
gonna lose, and
It
Dayon
wasn't
was
a
gonna beat
hardcore
him.
match.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was funny, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff Dayon does, man. And I don't know. I can't imagine like Joseph Pinto being like, "Okay, man, let's go, let's go play some
Street
chess."
chess
You
is
trying to
crazy.
you trying to feature on my album? Shoot through.
Chess,
Street,
we call it mind games, and featuring Dejan Jovic and him right there playing chess, and
Call it
he's singing and
checkmate
moving.
featuring.
street rules on chess. That's a crazy take right there. Well,
Street
this
rules.
is one thing with this. I want to say I've seen posts with him at Laker games with his teammates, so I'm not really sure why this quote is out. Now, I had this conversation earlier at the Gastro Club about it, and it was mentioned to me that maybe it was just like an AEG thing that they, kind of, here you go, guys, go watch this team or whatever.
It is. Whenever you see these guys at a Laker game, or like, well, even I don't know about the Clippers. The Clippers they don't have anything to do with the Galaxy, but you'll see them show up at Laker games,
Kings games.
Kings. Sometimes they show up for Sparks games. But yeah, that's the guys that here's some tickets, knock yourself out, go hang out if you want to. Usually it's not even like the main stars. It's like the bench players that show up to these things.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, what are you guys doing? Nothing. All right, let's go. All right, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, either way, Dejan does have a lot of love for the people that were his teammates last season because I seen a video of him going to greet everybody before the match while everybody was warming up. And everybody came, hugged him, great seeing you, Dejan. And it kind of warmed my heart watching that. And it made me sad at the same time because we had this player, this forward that we are in desperate need of right now. And, it kind of sucks to see him on the other side.
Yeah, it made me cry.
Low key. Well, let's go with this lineup. And
Wait, you forgot one more thing, bro.
what was that?
Not gonna mention Joe Henry.
Okay. Now that you mentioned it, go ahead. Go ahead, Guti.
Why me, bro? What? Joe Henry showed up. We said his name. He appeared. So
And now we're gonna take L's for the rest of the season.
and
because
now
of that.
no, it's not even that. We should have won
So
because he's
apparently
a
the
good
Galaxy
look.
believes in Joe Henry, but they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah,
Say who he
that's
is.
true.
So anybody who's not familiar with Joe Hendry, can you explain who he is?
Joe Henry is a professional wrestler who wrestles
He
for
sounds like a
TNA.
little kid. You made him talk to the class. Joe
You wanna share that
Henry.
with us?
He is your TNA. What was it? Was his title the world? Just their main
TNA
title.
heavyweight
TNA?
champion.
That's what. Yeah, yeah.
He's also 37.
So
He's a late bloomer. I mean, 37 is young, but
In wrestling terms, I mean, didn't
Batista got a really late start in pro wrestling.
yeah, Ric Flair wrestled till he was like 90.
Joe was still wrestling.
he's still wrestling, bro.
He still shows
This
up,
is
man.
real,
He still
brother.
take bumps.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure he does take bumps.
Oh,
Back in the
damn.
80s, he did. But we were joking around in our little group chat with the wrestling thing, and as soon as Guti sent that of Joe Henry being with the Gags, it's like, oh, yep, that's an L for the rest of the season, and I wasn't wrong because today started with the L.
Well, in all honesty, though, it's pretty cool. Like if you're into like the wrestling culture, to get someone like Joe Henry to do a thing with the Galaxy, because it's like you got to be a fan, right? Obviously, an everyday person, you can bring up your Cena's, your Rock, even like Roman Reigns to some extent.
Yeah.
But like Joe Henry is like, you got to be a wrestling fan, and like I thought that's a deep cut that was really cool for if you're a wrestling fan. Despite the jokes that Brian's making,
Yeah,
it was
that is
really
cool.
cool. Nobody else is at least to my knowledge, no other MLS team has anything
Joe
like
Henry?
that. Yeah.
And that's
In
the News
particular.
Across the Galaxy deep cut.
All right, well, let's go with this lineup because
Kind of makes up for the no wins in 11 games, to be honest.
I believe in Joe Hendry. All right, let's go with the starting lineup.
But do you believe in Miguel Berry?
No, go away. Continue.
And to be honest, when I saw this lineup, I was actually in positive, and like I was in a good mood. I was thinking very positive. But here he goes. Edgo, John McCarthy, your two center back pairing, Maya Yoshida and Miro Garces. Out left, John The Rock Nelson. Out right, Mickey Yamane. And I believe this is the first time they've started all together since last year.
Since MLS Cup, no.
I want to say.
That's crazy.
And then in the midfield, we had Diego Fagundes, Edwin Cerillo, and Marco Royce. Is this the first time these three have lined up for the starting unit? I want to say it is. Can't really remember this trio starting together.
No, because our first game of the season we started Sanabria, Royce,
That's right, Sanabria.
and then Cirillo.
Yeah, and Fagundes was out wide. Well, in this game, out wide, Gabriel Peck, Joseph Painsil, and up top, Christian Ramirez. Were you guys in any way excited about this lineup?
Best lineup we've had in a while, haven't we? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Realistically, we were a healthy team except for Ricky.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, excited is a strong word. Like
That is a strong word. Thank you.
for what we've seen. No. Excited, no. Optimistic, yeah, because we did play a bad team, and it's still true. And this was like the best lineup we've been able to put out, and I was feeling optimistic. But yeah, not. I wouldn't use. Definitely wouldn't use the word excited. It's a very low bar.
Very low bar. Edgar, I know you had the midweek conversation with Jimmy Mack. The Mac is back. And there were some predictions being made. When you seen this lineup, did you think those predictions that you made in the midweek show were gonna come true?
Yeah, I expected to draw. But when I made that prediction, though, I did say I'm being very, very, very optimistic. Because usually I mean, last year I would say this is a W, but with what's been going on this year, I was like, there's no way they're not going to win this game. They're not going to win. I was like, the most we can hope for is a draw. So I said, just the best lineup we can put out there. So you know, go draw.
Go
Yeah.
draw.
Go draw. I mean, as simple as you could put it. And then the match started. And usually when you're the away team, you always try to absorb the pressure the first 15 minutes and then try and go attack. Well, at the 13th minute, there was a golazo scored, and not by Kansas City.
Oh man.
Our very own captain, Maya Yoshida. What kind of play would you call that, Eddie? Because it's a golazo. Let's keep it real. If he was a forward for Kansas City, it would have been a sick ass goal.
How do I put in words what
I
I
laughed.
thought? No, it wasn't. I definitely didn't laugh. I think it got quiet, right? It got quiet, and it's just like I at first, with the fucking lighting and the fucking stadium, sometimes it was hard to follow plays, and then it happened, right? You see the ball go in, and Shallow is like celebrating, you're like, what the hell? And
Like
it's
you didn't see it
just-
coming, pretty much.
Yeah, you see.
Or like you were shocked when you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, obviously we know how the game ends, but you look at that play and you're just like what? Like this is like a bad, like like a bad practical joke or something. Like they weren't. It wasn't even. There was no danger. This is a pro like my Yoshida who's been in World Cups, played in big clubs, and to just have a brain fart or whatever happened in that moment was I guess if like it happens to Garces or somebody else, you're kind of like, ah, fucking Garces, or out there, whoever it may be. But this was just kind of like, it can't be real. That's what it was. It's like, this can't be real. This can't be really happening. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what went through my head when it was happening. It got quiet. It literally, Guti's. Have you ever watched the game with Guti? He's got a potty mouth. Uh, he's
Niño malcriado.
yeah, you saw him this morning, but
Oh.
no, yeah, it got quiet. It was just like no fucking way. Like this is not really happening right now.
Edgar, from your point of view,
Oh man.
how did that sit with you?
It's funny because like the whole weekend we've been and my son, he just turned 5, so he's a lot of stuff that we do on the weekend centers around him. And there was like this moment where I'm like, I can actually sit and watch the game and what he plays. And I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, oh cool, I get to watch the game. And then I see the goal go in, and I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, oh no. um it reminded me of like when I was younger. One of my grandfathers, he loved boxing, and so we would sit there and watch fights on the forum, right? I don't know if you remember that. It was like in the '90s. So we watch fights on the forum, and there you have like these two young guys, and you're like, oh, these guys are gonna be, it's gonna be a good fight, and you're like, yeah, and expect like 12, 10, 12 rounds of good boxing, and then like in the first round, one of the guys slips, and the other guy accidentally like hits him in the nose, and the fight's over, and you're like, oh man. What happened to the 10, 12 rounds of good
Kind of like
boxing?
Ryan Garcia. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that.
Did you guys hear about that?
Ryan Garcia sucks. We don't talk about him.
No, but it's
Oh,
not even
man.
just him. Like, sorry to like cut you off, but it's funny because you
Go
use
ahead.
you use a boxing reference, right? So it's relevant. So if you guys don't know about this, Ryan Garcia, I can't remember who he fucking fought.
He had a fight with Rolly Romero on Friday.
And then and they're trying to like promote him and Henny too, right?
Yeah,
so he
Haney.
fought before, he won, and then Ryan was the main event, This was a boxing event in the streets of Times Square. Times Square. Yeah, they did it in Times Square. They put a boxing ring, everything in Times Square, and this motherfucker loses in 2 rounds.
Excuse me.
Oh,
All
no.
that
Yeah,
preparation for nothing.
yeah, dude, 2 rounds.
Ryan Garcia is a terrible boxer and a terrible person. That's all I gotta say.
And by the way, my ad, the strangest, most random broadcast team ever. It's that lady from Paramount Plus that does the British lady that does
The UCL.
the UCL, Mike Tyson and Pat McAfee.
What do you
Yeah,
mean? I'm gonna go
was-
replay that. Watch that. 'Cause that sounds fun.
What?
That was the broadcast team.
Wow,
So,
that is some really interesting energy.
yeah, yeah.
What was
It-
like
honestly,
Tyson saying?
honestly, it brought a little chuckle to us because I
He
forgot
needs-
about the fight.
he needs-
Obviously, it's like with heavy hearts, and I told my dad, my dad, I was like, "Hey, you want to watch a fight?" Ryan Garcia's fighting, and I was like, "Oh, it might have started," and I turned it on, and it was over.
I mean,
So it kind of gave us like this little laugh.
this whole weekend with boxing was whack.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Canelo fight yesterday too, and I heard it was terrible.
Well, he won, no?
Yeah, I mean, still, he was
mean,
terrible.
Who can really match up with Canelo, bro? Let's be
Nah,
honest.
but fucking trying to use a Simpsons reference here. Fucking Canelo fights like Box Cart Joe and shit, you know? I mean,
You guys ever play Punch Out? First
Yes.
character from this
he's facing like
Glass Joe, bro.
Glass Joe, baby.
Last show.
Do a little Glass Joe dance.
Hey, to be honest, that game was pretty dope.
Yeah. Anyway, we're like trying not to talk about the game, right?
Yeah, because this
I mean,
is
aren't we
depressing
in different ways? They're like they're all metaphors and
for how bad this team is.
in the game.
Yeah.
Somehow the commentary of Pat McAfee and Mike Tyson is more interesting than this team.
Yeah, that's
I
what
wanna-
100%.
that's what that lineup was. It was Pat McAfee, the British lady, and Mike Tyson. That's what that Galaxy lineup
I
was.
can probably only imagine Mike Tyson. You're a piece of shit, man.
They had Taylor Twellman doing color commentary, and Twellman actually sounded kind of sad during this whole game. He usually chirps or something. He chirps about.
Oh, you should have seen him after post game, bro. He was laughing at us.
I'm sure he was, but I mean, it's like you can't. I mean, you can't really like. It's not fun to watch them play, man. It's not fun.
All right, let me ask you a question, Edgar. Taylor Twellman or the British lady from Paramount Plus, Mike Tyson and Pat McAfee?
The British,
The latter, man. I was gonna say I'd love. I mean, I would pay to have them watch. Have them. Just to have them like do the game. That'd be awesome. Just to hear
Yeah.
like Mike Tyson doing soccer.
Yeah, I just had to get it in one more time.
No, but I'm sorry. Back to the game, but yeah, I'm sorry. That goal, where that weird goal came off. Was it that one that came? It was a weird play. I think Marco Royce tried to like force the ball to Painstill, and Painstill ended up slipping and basically lost possession. And then from there it was a counter. I'm not even sure. That's how bad the game
I just
was,
know it
bro.
came in from the left side
Yeah.
into the box, and before you know it, boom, boom, ball's gonna net. Kansas City fans are celebrating, and that's the only celebrating they were gonna do until the final whistle because that game was boring.
Boring. And well, let me give you these first half stats. Total shots: Kansas City 0, the LA Galaxy 6.
Kansas City.
Kansas City 0. Possession wise, 35% to our 64. Ball success percentage, we had 90%. Pass success, they had 80. Tackles, we had 10, they had 2. Corners, we had 5, they had 0. So at the half,
We had more than 5 corners, dude.
in the first half.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the whole
No.
game.
This
Sorry.
is just the first half.
Ah,
The LA Galaxy is down 1-0 with Kansas City not having any shots on goal. And it doesn't stop there because it continues throughout the whole match. First, is there anything positive from this match? Maybe that you guys saw that maybe this team could build off of? Or is this just basically a sweet chin music to the LA Galaxy's season?
wait, are you talking about the half or the whole?
Yeah.
the whole game.
Well, the half, the whole game, because I mean, there's nothing really to talk about in this
yeah,
match
there is
during the match.
second half.
Then go ahead.
First, you talk about the first
Well, I
half.
mean, the whole thing we kept seeing in the second half was that there was a lot of possession, a lot of buildup, and they kept going at Kansas City. And Kansas City's defense is not good. Jimmy told us that our defense. He's like, our defense is terrible, and they they had so many chances to score,
Yeah.
and it came down to like stupid luck. Where like I remember there was a corner in which Yoshida got his head on the ball, and it
And
just
there was a
happened to
guy
bounce off the
standing right
neck of
there.
yeah, the Kansas City defender who wasn't even looking, and the ball just bounced off the guy's neck, and he's like, "Huh, what was that?" And the ball like bounces out of bounds.
You know what it would work perfectly, Edgar.
Hmm.
You play all the Galaxy attacking highlights in fast forward and play the Benny Hill song.
How does it go?
I, I don't know. You know what song I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then just throw in that twerking girl, like, and they're chasing her around the field too. Why not, dude?
I mean, I
Um,
do want kind of want to give their keeper credit. In the first half, Johnny Nelson had an open shot that he shot with his right foot,
bro,
which is
So here's it's John.
bro.
What's his name? John Postcamp.
Dude, Guti pulled this out on me that I did not know. Did you guys know this?
Yeah,
John
former
Postcamp is
Galaxy
an
player.
ex Galaxy player. He never. I don't even think he made time when he played with the main team. But he was an academy player, and he played with Galaxy too when he was there. When at the,
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago it was, but he was one of our players. I think Sporting Kansas City had three of our ex players. They had Postcamp, they had Jovelich, and they had Memo
Memo
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Yeah,
He was here for like a second.
yeah.
But yeah, dude, I made a comment about John Nelson. I was like, that is the slowest windup I've ever seen for a shot because there was nobody around him for like 5 or 10 feet. And you see the ball trickle out to him, and I'm like, "Oh, this should be a goal." And that fucker walks up
I'm
like,
gonna.
it was like when you play Mario Strikers and you charge up your shot like, and then when he finally kicks it, it's like, boom,
Mega
right at
Man.
the goalkeeper.
And
Yeah,
they
like
hit
that. You
you.
can hear
Bam.
John
Damn
Nelson.
it.
It was a good shot though.
Nah, the
But
thing
he
is,
shot it at the
but
keeper, man.
it's also not his job, and he's also left-footed.
Yeah, he got it in
No,
his
we
weak
saw
foot.
that dude hit a banger last year.
Yeah,
Remember?
but that was special. You know,
This
that
should have
doesn't
been his
happen.
banger for this year.
He's a defender. His job is not to score goals. I mean,
You
he
know
was
what we
wide
lost, dude?
open, but you got to give the goalie some credit too, because also in the
Yeah,
second half, Marco Royce had a free kick that he. Well, I don't know if he touched it, but it looked like he got a hand on it.
he did.
He
Yeah,
hit the
There was one
post, man.
he had from the left side of the field. I think it was in the. I don't remember which play, but he literally. It looked like it was literally supposed to be a cross in, and it went straight into goal, and he literally just.
Oh, well, there were a lot of those. There was the one where he shot it and like it looked like he palmed it over, but it actually hit the crossbar. But I think that was like towards the end of the game.
yeah. But I'll tell you something about if you want to talk about the first half, though. I think say what you want about Marco Royce. I think something at least he proved something about this team. The last game, who's he play Portland?
Yeah,
That fucking over the top shit does not work. You need somebody
and
that could calm the game down at times and keep that ball on the ground because we found a lot of space.
Mhm.
We created a lot more than other games, and we weren't doing that shit no more. Hitting over the top, hitting over the top. You know, maybe Marco Royce doesn't have the legs for it anymore, but at least a style of play is we need somebody that can calm the game down and break the lines for us. So as long as we don't have anybody else, and he's able to play, it's gonna have to be him. It's gonna have to be him because
And he
Lucas
went-
has already shown, at least for this season, he can't do it. You know, so
Well,
I
this
wanna
one, he
address
can't do
that,
it.
by the way.
This
But
one's-
it-
he
I want to
can't do
address.
it.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
let me address that real quick because one of my qualms in this game was that actually for the most of the season is I've been saying that Gabriel Peck hasn't been getting any kind of service like we're used to seeing where usually it happens in transition and somebody will knock the ball forward into space and he has the room to go and chase it down. We don't see that anymore. Maybe it's like you said, there needs to be some kind of somebody that needs to calm the ball down in the middle and then have the timing right to find the seam to send those passes into space. Um, but we've been seeing Painter and Peck try to do that, but too many times in this game when they finally got on the ball, like two or three defenders immediately like surround them and pounce on them, and then they have to like track back and they pass the ball around the middle, and that's where you get all that possession from because They get to that final third, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there, or
But
like just
but I want to intervene what you're saying because it's important to your point. They
uh-huh.
they would get surrounded and they circle the ball back. In other games, we'd circle the ball back and then launch it. That's why we had so much possession in this game because we weren't doing that in this game. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing came of it, but at least that's also why Kansas didn't get any shots, right? That in other games we forced that we get tired
We were
we create
forcing
counters for them.
we were forcing the long ball way too much, and that's been our. I think for me, that's been one of the problems this season.
Well, and then I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but if if everybody's healthy, obviously Painsil and Peck will get to that later, and then they play more together. I don't think we're gonna save the season at this point, but I think you start seeing this the offense get better, especially someone like Peck who all season wasn't getting those looks, and now in one game I think he got more looks than he got all season.
You think in this game he got better looks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he got
looks,
like two or three of them, dude.
No,
yeah.
I think Peck did a little better in this game than he has in his last few games. Honestly,
And he didn't have to take on people as much.
yeah, it was just literally just like the passes, and he was
It could
there.
also be the really bad Kansas City defense that Jimmy told us about.
Yeah,
We played
I
bad
was gonna
teams.
point
No,
to
We
that.
played bad teams already though. Portland's a bad team.
Portland's a bad.
At home.
They literally Portland lost yesterday. Dog. That tells you something. And they got smacked by San Jose. That tells you something.
Oh, they did get smacked by San Jose.
That's how bad we are. I think at this point we're making the bad teams look good. I mean, it's been like that for years, for me at least.
We're back, baby.
There was
Listen.
a play in the first half where Painter got a yellow for embellishing. Do you
That
guys
was
think
stupid.
that was a PK?
No, that was dumb.
No,
That was
right?
that should not
I
have
mean,
been a
no.
yellow.
So no, I don't. That wasn't a PK, but at the same time, it should have not been a yellow. The contact is there.
I'm gonna go there, boys. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Controversy.
You think that was a PK?
No. I don't think it's a
No,
PK.
no. I know where he's
I-
going.
Yeah. Am I wrong, Edgar?
No,
and then
Chris Pencil's a scumbag, dude.
Garces got the same treatment later.
The ref is
Yeah,
racist.
no, Pencil's a scumbag, dude. Like I don't like him. People say that his wife is a better goalkeeper. I mean, a better referee, but she's worse than he is, in my opinion.
Let's just
But
put it this way:
Pencil's very sketch, dude.
if you're not following, he's very selective in where he gives his cards and where he makes and who he makes his calls for. That was a very quick yellow. There was contact, right? That's to me. I've seen that plenty of times where it's not. It's just play on. The Garces one, that shit might have not even been a foul, and he was very quick on that yellow. So
I don't know if I want to put that out there on the ref. They are
No,
pro
okay.
referees.
So here's the thing. There's another play. There's another play towards the end of the game. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The player where Painstill gets injured and the guy makes the contact, like full on just drops Painstill from the back. That's a yellow, bro. That's a clear yellow.
yeah,
You like and like he literally goes from the back and you
goes
can
through him.
yeah. That's a clear yellow, bro. Any other day of the damn week, I guarantee you that's a yellow with anyone else, bro.
I'll go there because it's kind of. I feel like I don't remember who the other ref was. I kind of feel like we got similar treatment with that. And this one I think was kind of blatant, like and obvious to me. The one that he's pointing out is a very good example because if the Garces one is a yellow again, to me that's even questionable. That's a foul, and this one right in front of the ref where the play is unfolding right in front of him. This guy comes through him while Painstill's standing already in position, and you're not gonna even like consider a yellow. Take it as you will. But Edgar's telling you too. Edgar does not get it. I don't think Edgar would even like comment if he didn't feel there was any truth to it.
Is there any
Yeah.
truth to that, Edgar?
I think there is, man. You gotta if you connect the dots, you're gonna start to see a pattern of selective officiating, and this is one of the things that I'm trying. One of the reasons I do these ref reports is I'm trying to see which referees are more unbiased and reliable. And but we've already started to see some of the results from this. Like John Freeman is he hates the LA Galaxy. Every time we have him as a ref, we're gonna lose. And he's the one that went after Garces repeatedly. He's like one of his favorite targets to always like give him cards. So there's referees like that out there, and also he hates Mickey Yamane. Remember,
Oh
he's the guy
yeah, I
who
was about
keeps
to say that.
giving cards to Mickey Yamane. So I'm like, damn, what the hell's up with these guys? Um, but when your team is bad, um, you talk less about what's been going on wrong with the team, and you start to focus on some of the other aspects of the game that you feel would be a deciding factor. And a game that was this close, you look at the official and you're like, this is another factor that contributed to the loss. Where if the team is playing good enough, obviously, it's an afterthought. You're like, oh, that should have been, that shouldn't have been a card, but good thing we won. But when you're losing games, you take every break that you can, and they're not getting the breaks, right?
Yeah,
And all the stuff that was working for the team last year isn't coming up like it is. Um,
it's
it's
been it's been rough. It's been a rough season for the LA
like
Galaxy.
here's the thing I said on one of the midweeks was like, I usually we try to use not comedy, but you know, uh, we try to put a smile on and laugh about it, um, as a kind of like a band-aid, right? Like, this will help, soothe the pain. But it's getting to the point where you're like, this team sucks.
Yeah,
Even at full strength, they suck. And so it's you're not just numb to it; it hurts. The one thing I will say is that the reason for me that it hurts to see them lose like this is if they got blown out, right? If they went in there and they lost like 3-0, 4-0, at least you have that sense of closure where you're like, damn, they didn't show up today and they got blown out. Like when Brian was telling me about the Clippers getting blown out, I was like, damn, man, that sucks. But at least we know it's a decisive loss, right? They got blown out. And if it would have been close and they lost, I think it would have stung a lot more. But the same with this game. If they would have got blown out, I would have been like, oh, damn it, they lost. But they played so much better than Kansas
yeah,
City. And they had all those shots and all that possession and all these opportunities. And they still fucking lost the game. And that's what bothers me. Like that's why I got so worked up. I usually don't get worked up for these games. I usually don't get this upset, right? Because there's so many other things in my life that are much more important to me than a footballing match, right? There's so many other things that happen around us that carry so much more emotional weight, like what happened with Eddie and Nala. I mean, that's been on my mind this whole weekend, right? Because obviously I've had a lot of dogs in my life. So when something like that happens, if it's on my mind, and I'm thinking, why am I so upset about this damn game? It's because of the nature of what happened, and it fucking bugs me. And I'm like, damn it,
yeah.
man! I really wish these guys would just get blown out, and
Damn,
so I wouldn't have to
I
worry
really
about it.
hear Edgar curse. I really hear Edgar curse.
And
Sorry.
and this is the thing. You're not. I'm pretty sure you're not the only one that feels like that. I'm pretty sure there was a lot more frustrated LA Galaxy fans watching it at home or at a pub or wherever it was, and seeing your team win last season to seeing how they are this season, a whole 180 turn. It's very demoralizing. And I think we've mentioned this in last pause. Like, how do you, or somebody had asked us, how do you how do you keep the fans motivated? Like, why would we want to keep showing up to the stadium? And watching games like this doesn't really motivate anybody to come watch the LA Galaxy. And the thing is, the next home game is against cross-eyed rivals. So that's going to be tough for a lot of people to try to show up and try to go see that game.
I
I
mean,
did
And
want to
this is
mention,
where something is going to come up in that game that I think Eddie has addressed before, in which is if you're just going to show up, or maybe it was Guti, I don't know, one of you guys said it, where if you're going to show up and you're going to play hard for that match, just because it's a rivalry game, and then the rest of the time you're going to play like ass, then don't bother showing up at all, man.
yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say,
that's happened in previous seasons too. That's annoying as shit. Even the Slatan season, right? In
yep,
the first game, you do that. You give us a magical moment like that, and then you go shit the bed for the rest of the season. It's kind of like, dude, just don't just fucking lose. I don't know. You don't want to lose your rival, but don't fucking tease us like this.
It's a fucking hard thing to lose against your rivals. Trust me, it's like the worst feeling ever. And I think it's cool to win and all that, but I hate the fact that, like Eddie said, if you're gonna show up for just one match and then give us a fucking performance like they did today or for the rest of the season, like why? Like what's the point? Like, I get it. You guys want to beat them. Okay, cool. You know, it's like use that same fucking energy that you have with this game, with this like upcoming game, and use it for the rest of the season. Don't just be, oh yeah, no, we're playing against LFC. Oh, now we're fucking all like, oh yeah, we're fucking ready to go. Hell yeah, you know. Now like that should be your mentality throughout the entire season.
And what sucks is like we beat the fuck, worst case, which is very possible because it's like 2 games away, right? We go into that game with 13 games without a win, and we go up and we
12.
We beat the
12.
12. They beat.
Oh yeah, you know you're right. Yeah, 13
because
because
we're
we
11 already.
Yeah,
Still have
because
New York and then Philly.
yeah.
And then them. And then we go and beat them convincingly, let's say. It sucks because we're gonna sit here as fans and convince ourselves that maybe it could be turned around. Maybe we could do it. And because I mean now the excuses are less and less, right? We're one person away from having a full roster back, right? Say what you want about Brugman and Brugman, Dejan, and Delgado
Delgado.
being gone, but I don't think I'm wrong, and I feel there's a lot of people that will agree. It's like those guys are replaceable. You kept the people that are not replaceable in our eyes. So again, they go into that game without a win, and then we win convincingly. That's what's the annoying part.
And it was
that
like-
we'll sit here and convince ourselves that, oh, you know what, maybe it could be saved, maybe it will. And then last season too, which was the championship season, I said after that 4-2 win was more important to me is what we did next, because this was an emotional game. You had to get up for the next one, and what did we do? We fucking lost the next game.
And the worst part is that keep in mind this month we got LAFC at home, we got San Diego over there, and then we got
San Jose.
San Jose midweek. So that's 3 rivalry games back to back to back. So the fact that they're gonna probably like show out and fucking do whatever they gotta do against LAFC and win, and then somehow shit the bed against San Diego and San Jose.
Or you never know. Maybe those are the 3 emotional games you need.
So with that, we'll circle back to that because I think that's a very good. Well, in other episodes because
there's something I just want to like end with in this segment with, and it's the fact that Eddie was saying, those guys are replaceable. Well, when you think back about those LA Galaxy teams from the early 2010s, right? You think about Beckham and Keno and Lando, right? Those were the 3 main guys, right? Galaxy would not have won those championships without a Mike McGee. And we love Mike McGee. If you're a Galaxy diehard, if you're a real hardcore Galaxy fan, you know Mike McGee and you know what his contributions were to those teams, to those championships. But to the outsider fans, right? The casual MLS fans, they'll know about Beckham, they'll know about Landon, and some of them, will know about Keno and what they did for the team. But there's no way Galaxy's winning those championships without Mike McGee. And he's one of those guys that you could say, would you say he's replaceable? No, absolutely not. And maybe we could say the same thing about a Mark Delgado or, Gaston Brugman, that maybe they don't have like those contributions where, they're there all the time, but they were clutch. And you need clutch players in situations like these. And right now, you look at that roster. Is there anybody under that you're like, oh, this guy's clutch. This guy will come up for us when we need it?
nope.
No, but that should have been Fagundes. That should have been Cerrillo. You still kept some pieces, though. Like, if you want to talk about those guys, there's also a new era. There's a new era in MLS, right? This isn't those 2010 eras. And I think we kind of did that. Because maybe we're getting ahead on this conversation, but I was thinking about this. Is like, I'm tired of that excuse already. The injuries, the fucking, the MLS, kneecap
Roster rules.
whatever, dude.
We're way past that.
Yeah, well, it is like, look at other teams. Look at the Columbuses that stayed relevant. Look at the Seattles that stayed relevant. Look at LAFC who would stay in the conversations after.
I think Columbus is a good example too.
Yeah, we don't have that excuse. To me, that's not an excuse anymore. You're talking about we're 11 games in, and we're still talking about not having a win. Like that, we're beyond that, dude. It's time to look at other places too, right? Where if you want to point fingers, it's the players that are here and their interest in the club and where their passion lies. It's the front office for the moves they've made. You know, even the morale that might have been affected in like a Yoshida deal. You know, so you got to think about
Yeah.
all these things, right? There's something else now because that excuse is, you know, that horse has been beat into fucking dust
Let's dig
already.
up the horse.
Hey, leave my horse alone, all right?
um,
No, Seabiscuit. So what I wanted to mention real quick
oh,
before we put the
Oh,
cap on this game.
but hold on,
oh yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Because Project Glow Stick has replaced Dejan with who? Ramirez, Nacimiento, Berry. Nope. I'm not saying that we got the right replacements. We're just saying they're replaceable. That's
But
all.
apparently not. We thought I'm bringing in Sanabria to kind of cover what
No,
Delgado
no,
does,
no,
and
no,
that's
no,
not
no,
been.
no. No, they're replaceable. I didn't say we got the right replacements. I said they are replaceable.
The other thing, the silver lining to this, by the way, because we're talking about the team being so woeful, right?
Yeah.
Is that uh, there's been a few times our good buddy Cameron up in Seattle, who covers the Sounders. He said that he's told me like, hey, the Sounders went through the same exact thing you guys are going through after the CONCACAF champions. He goes like they were absolute trash, right? I mean, obviously they won games, right? But they weren't particularly good. There were a lot of questions about the management of the team, about the players themselves, but they were able to pick up the pieces and look what they did. They were on the brink of going back to MLS Cup last year,
Yeah.
and they're one of the better teams in MLS this year. So there is that silver lining. I keep hearing people saying, "Oh,
But
2026 is going to be much
but I,
better."
but I think but I think
But
with Seattle it was a bit of a calculated risk, right? I think they rode it till the wheels fell off. They were
well,
like,
well, Cameron, what he said, and even Cheyenne, I remember he also came on. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember him. He came on for midweek to talk about Seattle. He said that he was upset because he's like, they won the Champions Cup, and then Seattle went ahead and rewarded these aging players with like these big contracts, and they didn't have any wiggle room to go ahead and get better. So they had to wait for those contracts to age out, and then they were able to like retool and get better again. And but it took them a while. So yeah, like you said, they did ride it until the wheels off, but they did it because they wanted to, and they shot themselves in the
not,
foot.
not the same though, because we have Pain Sale and Peck under those big contracts. So
Yeah.
I
But
can't.
those
Players
guys
that
are
we want.
younger.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
harder to compare, in my opinion.
100%. One thing before we end this game, there was some subs. Miguel Berry came in, Mauricio Cuevas, Julian Alde, and Mateos Nascimento. Um, there's something that Eddie has mentioned before about Nascimento being a bust.
It
The
has
LA,
to be.
the LA Galaxy was down 1-0. The first sub was at the 63rd. If this kid was anything promising and maybe a player that could change the game, you would have put him in there sooner, right?
Yeah.
But it just so happened that Joseph Painter went down with an injury. Gabriel Gabriel Peck went down with an injury, and then you had the young guys come in. I don't know what's going on with
No,
the
they brought in
Nascimento.
Barry before they brought in
Yeah,
Nascimento.
That's
that's
what that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what
saying.
he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
that's what I'm gonna say. Like, say what you want about Barry. You know, we talk.
My goat
He was
Barry, baby.
no, he was the replacement, the sub last year, right? And then even when we went down with Dayon being injured, we moved Paintsill on top because we had the pieces to be able to do that instead of Barry starting. So now you're talking about Barry's coming off the bench when you need a goal before this kid that you signed or took or put a number 9 on, you know, and have on loan to possibly sign. Like that to me is like I'll bet the house that it's a bust already. Like it's definitely like it's done. Like I feel like even if they can, because I don't know how the in and outs work of loans and professional contracts. I wouldn't be surprised if we somehow end that in the summer.
Oof. Well,
La
we'll see.
playera, es que la playera en el número 9 pesa, bro. That's why.
Especially in the LA Galaxy, unless your name is Dejan Jovic.
No, but
Or
the crazy thing
Zlatan
is though, like
or
you
Alan
said,
Gordon.
Pesa, yeah, whatever though, but they don't even give him the chance. It's not like he's gone in there and made a fool of
Yeah,
himself.
that's what I'm saying though. It's like,
Especially if you want to buy him off that loan, you would want to see more playing time from this kid and see what
yeah,
he actually
you're
has on
not
the
giving
pitch.
him anything. My thing is that Well, my thing just was probably gonna come and say something just fucking.
Sure.
But I just give him the chance at this point. Just have him start.
Yeah.
You already have the two strikers. You know, you already got Barry. You got Ramirez. You know, if he doesn't do anything at halftime, just take him out. As simple as that. Just give him that opportunity.
But that's the problem. I think that's how bad he is. That it's not
Man.
even worth that. Like that's the thing. He's not even worth that. Well, there's gonna be a big tell, right? We have the amazing
Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup coming up, you know.
Leagues
And this is
Cup.
you know what too fuck the
Go for
Leagues
Leagues Cup. Go for it. I say go for it.
Cup. No, but fuck Leagues Cup. But look, this is what sucks about not having the Open Cup because then we could have taken a look at
Yeah.
him already.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with Eddie.
Thank you,
Even
Don
if it's
Garber.
like, yeah, even if they're playing some like small team from like the from Apple Valley, the Apple Valley team, right? Whatever, and
Avialca.
at least you get to see the younger guys go in there and they get to play a full 90 and you get they get their feet wet, right, in some kind of competition because it's so much different than practice, right? You're practicing against your teammates versus playing an actual match against some guys that probably want to bury you into the sand, right? Um, but the thing that bugs me about Nascimento is that they put him in there and he completely just vanishes.
Yeah.
Like, at least try to do something. Maybe we can make excuses. Oh, he's young and he's maybe it's a confidence thing. Dude, you're in a professional team and you have all these other guys that are supporting you. You have your Brazilian teammates and you have Juninho there to make sure you don't feel too out of place, right? And you're not really doing anything. It's kind of like you get this wonderful opportunity to showcase what you got. You work hard for this, obviously, and then you're not doing anything with it. But that's the whole Galaxy season in a nutshell, anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that too. That was another thing I wanted to bring up too. I remember telling Guti is like Miguel Berry's been way more involved in this game than Nascimento. And like Nascimento didn't make himself seen at all. Uh, I don't like going by highlights too much. I try to go with the eye test. Even when they're not getting the ball, see how they're off the ball, see what they do when they do have the ball. But there's no eye test to be had with this kid, dude. There's nothing. To me, like there's just nothing there, and even the hustle is not there. Because like I said, Miguel Berry, yeah, not the greatest guy, not the greatest, the most talented player, but he hustles.
Yeah. That he does.
So
That he does. Well, let me give you the finishing stats of this match.
Wait, we have a super chat.
Oh, there is a super chat. Chewy. Super chat me up, baby.
Oh, you wait. Oh hell no.
Stephen Ma. We'll show up because we're the 6-time champions, baby. We're living like the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not.
No
we're not.
way,
We're
dude.
not choking in playoffs every year, bro.
Oh man, I'm a Niners fan, and I'll say I still watch my championship highlights on VHS, man. So are the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Damn.
Final stats on this match. The LA Galaxy with 11 shots. Kansas City with 0.
Damn. Historical.
Historical possession wise, the LA Galaxy with 71% of the possession. Kansas City with 28. Pass success percentage 91 for us, 77 for Kansas City. And total corners for our LA Galaxy, 12 to their 1. So we ended up losing this match
You know what's
without
crazy?
Kansas City getting the shot off.
I'm a big believer of this. Like whether you're playing, I mean, if you're playing and you've played, I've been on both ends. I've been on bad teams. I've been on great teams. I've been on runs on both ends, losing and winning. And you forget how to do either or, right? And I think like the Galaxy, 0 shots, we still lost. You forget how to win.
Yeah.
And somehow you forget how to win. And same thing, we lost this morning. You forget how to lose. It becomes like this odd feeling when you lose. It's like, what the fuck was that? And I feel like the
Yeah.
Galaxy right now just doesn't know how to win. Like they just forgot what that's like. They that killer instinct. Everything is just like this is what's normal. We're just a losing team, and it's a fucking it's a game that you lost historically with
Set
no
records,
shots.
baby.
Not on target. We're talking about no shots, period. And then the craziest stat about that is that Kansas in their history of their club have never had a game 30 years whatever having a game with at least two shots.
They're literally their minimum is two
Their
shots.
minimum was two shots. That's a fucking crazy ass stat. And that's, I mean, yeah, funny, whatever, him making history. It's embarrassing, to be honest.
For a team that just won the championship
It
not so
doesn't
long ago.
matter. I don't give a fuck if you win a championship or not. It's embarrassing regardless. It's embarrassing for anybody.
Making history in the wrong ways, man.
Yeah. Ugh. This team is
Yeah, our buddy
not
Jimmy
good.
Mack actually hit me up after the game, and he said, "Well, one thing is for certain: a game of soccer was played tonight."
It's like I said, we embarrass Sunday night soccer, man.
No.
And to
The
add
The
It's
most exciting
yeah,
night of the week.
exactly.
to add
I
insult to injury, dude. You have one of your DPs down already with an injury,
Ah,
and your other two DPs go down with injuries in this match, in a historic match where Kansas City had no shots but ended up winning the game.
you know
they
my
ended up
thoughts on those, by the way.
Mm.
Okay, I feel like the Peck one. I feel like he took a shot to the lower back. I feel like that was like a shot to his kidneys. I don't know if you ever felt one of those. Um, where somebody like grabs you and like whacks you right in the kidneys. That hurts, man. If you've seen it in boxing, Guti, that's why they don't allow kidney shots. They hurt, man. Um, and I remember like when I was covering the league way back when, I was talking to Danny Pena, former Galaxy defender, and I asked him one time, "Can you give me some tips?" And then he was like, "What position do you play?" I was like, "Well, I'm a forward, but sometimes I'll play defense." He was like, "Well, I'm a defender. I'll tell you what I do." He's like, "I'll grab a player's shirt from behind, so that kind of like in basketball, you know which way they're going as they run off. He goes, but one thing I like to do when the ref is not looking, I grab the player and then I just whack them really hard in the kidneys. He goes, and just for that 1 second, they pause and they go, ah, and then you just get in front of them. And I was like, damn, that is dirty. He's like, but it works.
freaky ass
So
fool. What
I
the
was
fuck?
like, damn. So it kind of reminded me of that. I was like,
Yes,
damn, that,
fool.
this dude took a shot at Peck. Peck went down. But the paint seal one, I feel I feel he wasn't really serious here. I feel like that was just a lot of frustration coming, like boiling over, and he was just like, you know what, I'm done with this game. Just I'm just gonna stay down. Get me out of here. Fuck this game. I'm out. I'm out. I'm just gonna sit there with my ice pack. I don't give a fuck anymore.
I
It's a bold statement.
I double down and I say that it was both of them had the same mentality.
What?
Yeah,
I don't want to put that on the play because what if they are injured? You don't want to put that out
it
there.
fucking better be. Nah.
There hasn't been
No.
any official ruling on what the injuries are.
Okay,
But
but look, maybe there is slight injury, right? But I think it's a kind of same like the motivation, right? Like I want to even say more. I'll back up Painsil more because I've had the quad and the hamstring injuries, and those linger, and when it tightens up, you kind of got to call it. So I'll give Painsil the maybe, right? But still, I do agree with Edgar, but I feel like the Peck one, that's something with a little while you could walk it off, jog around a little bit, and it kind of like you can play through it. But I think because of the way the season's going and they're already losing, I think he was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna phone it in."
I mean, they are injured emotionally. we
Because
got
no
another
guts.
we got another super chat. Chewy, twinkle me up, baby.
Oh, I'll tinkle you up, boy.
Yeah. All right.
I don't even know how he did that with the speakers.
It's so funny, bro.
Wow, that is
you're-
funny, bro.
You guys speaking comes through my headphones, but then like the super chat sound effect comes out through my speakers. I don't even know how that happened.
Adam says Galaxy easiest match would be RSL in May, but then again, no team is winnable for them this season.
You mean RSL's easiest match?
Yeah, literally. RSL's
Well,
bad too, and they made us look like chums, bro, when we played them last time.
it's what Josh always says, and we all know it's true. When you're a bad team, every game looks like
It's
a
difficult.
freaking battle, like a
Yeah.
war, and every team is better than you. So right now, ah my God, how far off are we from our preseason or early season prognostications, we were like, "What do you guys think we're gonna finish?" And we were all like, "Yeah, fourth, third, fourth, right?" Because
I
that's what
mean,
I thought. I
I
was
said
like
top
third or
four.
fourth.
I said top four.
yeah, same. I mean, that's over now. Or unless we flip the table upside down, then I'm still,
Hell yeah, we're
Oh,
first place.
I'm still on
okay.
point.
So check this
Uh,
out, right? It's the 4th of May, right? May the
May the
fourth be
fourth
with
be
you,
May,
with
right?
you.
yeah.
And the Galaxy just
Hey,
lost.
take it easy, take it easy.
So Galaxy just lost their 8th match of the season, right? Last season, LA Galaxy only lost 8 matches the entire season. So we
damn.
have reached the total amount of losses from last year. Like we're only 1/3 of the way through the season at this point. Literally one
Perfect.
third of the way through the season, and they already lost the total number of matches they lost
We're
already.
gonna win from here on out. There it is. Edgar said
Yeah.
it. Edgar, you guys. All right,
Zero
let's do some
wins.
awards. Start off with the game is off. Guti,
Wait. I
whose
have a
game?
question for you guys.
Yes.
Sorry. So this question comes from. Oh, I mean, I don't know if this is a question. Actually, you know what? Let's save this question. It's from our buddy Nathan Durek. I'll save it for afterwards for the Q&A. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. Whose game was off for you, Guti?
That's damn.
I'll get out of the way. I think it's an odd game, and I'm just
Oh
gonna go
man.
where the big moment happened. I'm just gonna go with Maya Yoshida because, like I said, like the is this really happening? Game is off. Remember, he's a pro's pro, and for him to fumble the ball the way he did, that's to me was like your your game was definitely off.
I'm gonna be a bully and choose Christian Ramirez.
Who you got, Edgar?
Christian Ramirez, man. I mean, we already know the guy is slower than everybody else. I keep laying some of the blame on the offense being so woeful because Peck and Painter obviously they operate at a different speed than he does. He's usually like backing up. If you see them, if you see these guys running up the field in a transition play or on a counter, like you see Peck and Painter running up the field, and then you see Ramirez kind of tailing back behind them. That wasn't the case with Dayon or with some other forwards that we had, in recent memory. And so I feel like it kind of like throws things off a bit. But today, particularly today, he was very ineffective. Kind of like Nascimento, like we said Nascimento it was like a non-factor. I feel like Christian Ramirez is kind of like that too. I
Yeah.
can't think of any one particular play where I'm like, oh, okay, he might have had a chance to really score a goal here, or he was threatening on this play. Just like
You know,
he didn't
I,
show
I
up.
I actually do have to agree on that because there was some times where I pointed out to Guti that was very frustrating. It's like you got to beat your man to the ball. Like the Galaxy did a lot of great things where Marco Royce crossed one in. I think Peck did one as well, where the defender would beat him to the ball. It's like, dude, you know where the ball's coming. Start making your run. And I don't even think it has to do anything with being fast. I just think it's just
Your positioning.
yeah, positioning. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad choice either. But
I mean, that's something that, especially like if you play the game, right? As you get older, you get slower, right? I mean, I went through that. I'm sure you guys have been through that too, because you guys are younger than me. One of the
Yeah, we
things that
saw
you
it this
do
morning.
learn, no, shut up, man. You're like you're still in early 20s, man. But one of the things that
You got
I learned
confidence, bro.
as I got older as a player, especially because I was playing center back, is that you start to like figure out where you need to be before something happens, so that way you're one step ahead or two steps ahead or something. And that's something that you learn as you play more and more and more. And it's something I wish I would have known when I was younger, but hey,
Mhm.
my mentality was in a different spot, right? And you think Chris Ramirez is he's been around for a while. It's not his first rodeo, right? So you think, okay, man, you should start like he just said, you should start thinking about where you're going to be before you get there, and start making sure that you start taking those first few steps. And no, and
This
this
was
is why
happening.
he's playing at the level he is right now. And he came in as like all right, here's a band-aid until we get like a real forward. I'm saying that. I am saying that.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like a temporary, solution for
Till
something much better to
Nascimento
come down
figures
the
it out.
road.
Hey, I know. Hey, I know a striker we can get.
Who?
Lewandowski.
No.
What?
His name is Jamie Vardy.
Ah, let's
Let's
not go
do
for our
it.
aging players, man.
Bro, when Billy Sharp was here, he killed it.
But that's Billy Sharp. Hey, do the song. Do the song, Bryant.
Jamie
El
Varney,
Tiburón. How does
bro.
it go?
The Billy Sharp.
Yeah, the Billy Sharp song. El Tiburón. How does it
By the
go?
way,
Oh,
chime in on your awards. We're at Geo
yeah,
Award right now.
with the Geo Award.
Go on.
Also, for you guys at home that are going to be listening to this later, I'll give it to Maya. I agree with that sentiment of him being the pros pro and having a brain fart in this type of match against a really bad team. Scored a banger.
Yeah,
Let's
he
go.
made nothing into the moment of the game.
Yeah, basically,
There was nothing there, and
no danger. Yeah,
that was a deciding moment.
We created the danger.
What about Chewy? I
Chewy,
haven't heard from Chewy in a while.
whose game is off today.
Yoshida.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chewy. Let's do the honorable mention, the You've Got Hartman Award.
Man,
Edgar, who had heart in this match?
I don't know. McCarthy. I'll say McCarthy. I mean, he didn't allow anything else. I mean, there was wait. What am I saying? There was no more shots.
How can you even
He
go
had
McCarthy?
heart. There you go. He had heart. He had heart. Yeah, McCarthy had heart. Go ahead. He got hit.
Who you
I don't
got,
care.
Eddie?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Royce. We got Hart. I'm gonna go with Royce. He did what he can with those old legs. I think he I don't want to use exposed us. I guess he showed us what this team needs to do. Right, back to the Vanny ball that actually should work, but didn't work today. But yeah, Royce. It's not like a. Like fuck yeah, you definitely are like there's not much to choose from. Let's put it that way. So I'm just gonna go with Royce for that.
Who you got, Guti?
I'm gonna say the same thing with Eddie. Royce, even though I was complaining about him this entire game, he calmed us down a little bit, as you can say, with the whole long balls, because those long balls were pissing me off. Still slow, but he did the best he can. He went a full 90.
Yeah, surprisingly. For me, it's going to be, I guess, Diego Fagundes. He had a better game this time around that he's had these last matches. He's also the highest rated player on WhoScored.com. So,
Really?
yeah, he is the highest rated
Foot
player.
Mom.
7.2 for the LA Galaxy. I mean, he didn't play bad. I mean, the team didn't really play bad either. It's just that final ball in the last
That's
third.
funny.
Yeah. So I guess I'll give it to Fagundes. Chewy, who you got as your Heartman Award?
Gabriel Peck. I think he had a better game than he's had before, or in the past this season. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think he just performed a little better than normal this time.
It's funny, Brian, because I'm on the football app, and it says that Surreal has a higher rating, and he's at the 7.5.
Oh shit! See, that's crazy. That's crazy. Did we ask Edgar? We started with Edgar.
Yeah.
And now for the most prestigious award in all of MLS. The next Danny Player of the Match. Eddie, who is your next Danny Player of the Match?
I'll make it easy because, again, this kid. You guys. By the way, I have a bone to pick with you guys. You guys were like giving shit to Surreal for that one bad game. I feel for Surreal. I think Surreal's had to adjust so much and fucking work with what he's got. Right? I think a lot of it is not his fault. I would agree that he started the season pretty bad, and then he had that one game. I think the last one, right? That was his bad game. Where you guys were like burying him for having a bad season. I'm just like, you guys definitely need to watch this sport more. No, but I think
bury him.
Surreal was for me the man of the match, and I think when it's all said and done, he might end up being the player of the season because that poor guy, that poor kid, he's growing right in front of our eyes, but not by he's being forced to grow up quicker than he has to, because of the the crazy situation he gets put in. He's starting one day with Sanabria and Royce, then another day with Perente and Fagundes, and then another day with
Lepley and
Lepley and fucking Alex Gutierrez. He's like he's just yeah, dude. The
shit,
guy,
I'd ruin that midfield like that. No,
yeah, the
like
guy
that.
has to adjust on the fly. If you play that position, you don't. It's not always the same depending on who's playing aside you. So obviously Royce is not going to give you, the coverage that another younger player is, or Ricky, or the relief that Ricky Puig is going to give you because he's there to collect the ball from you quicker. So, yeah, shout out to Surreal, dude. I think we're lucky to have him.
Yeah, we are.
Hopefully, we keep him longer, and he's next standing player of the year.
Cirillo, bro. Come
No,
on, dog.
No, for me, it's
I
Surreal.
like Surreal. I like Surreal a
It's
lot.
Cirillo.
Guti, that's gonna be your MVP, your next standing player of the match.
No, I was gonna choose Holy Father, give me bread and butter. Joseph Pinsto.
I thought he was here. Did we close
No,
my
I
eyes? Do
mean,
it again.
Who you?
and honestly, I think Joseph Pinsto has been one of our best players like ever since he's came back. If you guys, I don't know, this is me. I feel like he's the one actually trying like his absolute best despite the team playing like other dog shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever, bro.
Edgar, who do you have as your next standing player of the match?
Yeah, Edgar.
Gabriel Pack. I just feel like he's just trying so hard at this point that it made me sad to see him go down with injury like that.
Yeah,
Because he's one of those guys that he's so frustrated with everything that's been going on. He's only scored one goal a season, and in that game against Herediano, we got to see what Galaxy could really do. Obviously that's the only win they've had all year long.
Yeah,
um,
not even preseason. That's
Can we play
so
them every day?
seeing him get hurt like that, it hurts. It just adds to the pile of misery. But
yeah.
I feel he was next standing today.
Chewy, who was your next standing?
Diego Fagundes. I think he was just the right player today, but nothing happened, unfortunately.
I'm gonna show love once again to the old man, Marco Royce. Marco Royce for me gets the next standing, and he went 90 minutes. Those old legs kept going. We do have two super chats. Chuyazo, twinkle me up, baby.
Yeah, I want to hear a whole party, dude. Yes.
way.
Yeah.
From
I felt that go
Steven.
right through my head.
Fucking dropping what are the chemtrails right here, bro?
From Steven. No one is helping Peck and Paintsill. Their
Looking that up.
court can't catch up. I feel why they're frustrated as hell. Good point. And then from Adam, would you? There you go. Would you guys know when was the last time Galaxy won the Red Bulls away?
Nah, hombre,
Saturday.
valiendo
I got
verga.
that for you.
What is it?
It was a 3-1 Galaxy victory on Sunday, May 14th, 2017.
Was that the last time we played
Oh, I
them?
remember. I remember that game too. No, we played them in 2019. We lost that game.
Oh man,
I remember.
there were goals by Roman
Alessandrini.
Alessandrini. He had a brace, and then some guy named Gio Los Santos scored a goal on an assist by Roman Alessandrini.
Banger.
Roman Alessandrini is my absolute goat, bro. I don't care what the fuck you guys say.
All right. Well, now that the awards are out of the way, let's get to this question, and let's rotate back to this question that Adam asked. He had asked, "Who's responsible for taking accountability for the season so far, and what changes can happen, if any, for the rest of the season?"
Shit, I
Hold
kind
on,
of
hold on. Before we do that, because this goes with the next question, and I want to we can lump them together because we
Okay.
could probably answer them. So remember that one that you guys just mentioned. Here's Nathan Durek. He covers the Caps.
Shout out Nathan.
He asks, "Is this a sporting director issue? Like front office and recruitment, the Galaxy have a team. It's there, but when key pieces go down, there doesn't to be an adequate replacement." And he added, "I only say this because of using the caps as the opposing example, Gold goes down, Vita steps in. Nelson goes down, Ahmed hits. Uvik is out, Blackman and Veselovich come in. Um, he goes, there's depth there. What happened to the LA Galaxy? Depth. So responsibility, accountability. What's going
Come
on,
on,
guys?
bro. Fucking Ramirez goes down. Barry steps in.
Nah, man,
Royce
man.
goes down. Paredes steps in. Um, Oh, I mean, I kind of spoiled
Fucking
that a little bit, right? Because it's like I don't think we all have the answers now, but now it's time to start asking questions, right? Where is the to blame? Because now we can look around and hit in MLS history and even in our own history, and it's only an excuse for so long. It's not an excuse enough for 11 games without a win. Also, something that we could add to this is to this whole conversation is on the MLS, one of the MLS shows during the week, they talked about if Vanny was in the hot seat, and then somebody said, you have the defense of that. Oh, he won the MLS Cup last year, and then back to the same excuses, right? The
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 injuries.
fucking the injuries, the handicap, or the salary cap, but then they brought. I think it might have been McCarthy or somebody, but not McCarthy. Yeah, Dax McCarthy. Yeah, he. I think he said. He's the one that said it. That said, well, think about any other league in the world, any other team, right? Even if you're Pep Guardiola, who, because it was going into this one. Imagine they don't win these next 3 games on the road. Who survives a 13-game winless streak? So
Yeah. And it's, to add to that, um, I think I mentioned it in this Galaxy chat that I'm in, where somebody's like, is it that point where Vanny, because the Vanny out people are starting to come out, come out of the woodwork at this point. So the question comes, is he in trouble? I think that at the beginning of the season, he had carte blanche, which means freedom to have whatever comes his way because he just won the cup. And yes, we knew there were some setbacks at the start of the season, but we're a third of the way through, and they still haven't won a game. And there were some very winnable games
Yeah.
where maybe it was player error, maybe it was bad officiating, but these are things that we've seen this team go through in the past, and obviously, if you follow any sport long enough, you see any sports team go through this. But I think at this point right now, with the way things are going, and the way things aren't really getting any better, and you look at what's coming down the road, that seat, there's definitely some heat there now.
yeah,
I can see this guy. I mean, as much as we appreciate Vandy for, I can see there's some questions, some really hard questions being raised by the end of May, and we might even see something go down sometime in like June or July. And and I like that.
Eddie.
uh, hit the super chat, and I'll answer this, and it's gonna go with what Edgar's saying. There's a new super chat.
From 3 against 4. Go ahead, Eddie.
All right. How many games in a row with it a win?
Without a win.
I know. Okay, that's what I figured. I was like, huh? Before Vanny gets the boot, 15, 20. I'll go bold and say, if we're the LA Galaxy, no respectable club doesn't isn't already considering that move. I say I honestly feel that if we don't win the next 2 games, he doesn't get a flight back to LA.
I feel like if
Yeah.
he no, I see it as if I think they're gonna wait until this month to see how everything goes with like the 3 derby games, pretty much. I think we'll probably if he still doesn't figure it out by like the beginning of June.
The thing is with that Derby game is the way those Derby games go, right? I think that's why you don't let it get to that game because that could happen, and then I think you just have to play it right. You buy him time if you win that game. There'll be outrage from fans if you fire him after that game, because we're sports fans. We're delusional at times, right? Brian and fucking Edgar swear that the Clippers are a decent basketball organization. Um, but no, all seriousness, we're sports fans. We're delusional, and if you let it get to that game and we haven't won, and they pull that game off, it buys them time. It
Yeah.
buys them time, and then we can go and win and lose or not win in the next 13 games. So I think being the respectable club that we're supposed to be, the standard club that we're supposed to be, you cannot have a coach sitting there. As much as Vanny's done, much as you respect Vanny,
For me, it's
it's no win in 13 games. That's okay. I thought that was a great point on the MLS show, where it's like, where in the world, what coach, even if you're Pep Guardiola, whoever you are, I don't think anybody has a job at 13 games without a win.
Yeah.
I want to say
and a
something
hard
to that. Go ahead.
and the hard part is that if it does get to that, where we do fire Vanny, who's next?
Okay, but
I don't think there's gonna be, I don't think there's any other better option out there.
Curtain.
I don't think we'll give Jim Curtin that like, I don't think we'll.
Chirondolo. Just kidding. Um, no, I want to say something interesting that ties a lot of things together. Is that I think at this point, Dan Beckerman, this is definitely on his radar. And if you guys don't know, he's the president of AEG, right? Um, the LA Kings. I'll go back to the Kings. The LA Kings just just coughed up a 2-0 lead in their playoff series, and it was because of stupid decisions by their coach Jim Hiller. And I don't see Jim Hiller coming back next season the way LA Kings fans are right now. The pitchforks and the torches are out. So he's probably hearing it from from Kings fans right now. And then on top of that, you have all the stuff that's going on with the Galaxy and with Greg Vanny. And yes, they just won the cup. But you look at the state of the team, they're in a really sorry state.
Yeah.
Um, and I would not be surprised if Dan Beckerman is, you know what, screw this guy, and you know what, screw you too, get out of here. And then look at 2025 as like, this season is a wash. Don't rush, push back. Make sure that you go ahead and you start researching who you think is going to come in and take this team through this next rebuilding phase. Because they said we're still going through the rebuild, right? Take them to this next rebuilding phase and make sure that you don't shake things up too much, but make sure you have the right personnel in place so that by 2026, and then there's some space in the cap, you can go out and start to build the team again and make it to the vision of whoever's coming in.
Yeah.
Um, I think LAFC is doing that, right? Because Toronto's out, and they're like they publicly said, well, he's gone. So it gives them time to go out and be like, okay, let's go find a manager, so that way we can start to rebuild, build the team, and whatever he wants way ahead of time, and maybe LA Galaxy might go that route. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Beckerman gets rid of both coaches, the Jim Miller from the Kings, Vanny for Galaxy.
We do have another super chat. Twinkle me up, Chiasso. No fireworks? All right. Is there a possibility?
Asbestos.
Damn, look at that
is,
thing
there,
go.
is there a possibility after the LAFC game he gets fired depending on the result, especially if it's slaughter?
I think if you wait and then that happens, it's demoralizing for
Yes.
everybody. The locker room, the fans. That's another reason you don't want to wait that long either.
So you don't want to wait that long, but for me, it always bothers me when, and this happens all the time in like Liga MX for some reason, it happens when a random team, like just a coach fires, no, a team fires their coach before. It happens to Chivas all the time. Let's just say that every time when they're into that week with America and they're doing horrible, they're firing their coach and they get someone random, and then it all goes to shit even more. And I don't know. I get that you don't want to get to that point, but I don't like the fact about firing like Manny before a derby match.
Miguel Herrera forgot.
No, no.
Yeah, but Liga MX is a whole different beast, though. It's like I feel like there's a lot more turmoil, and like some of the managers are more expendable. I feel it's really hard to go to Liga MX and be like, oh, this manager, is bulletproof. No, it's it's difficult to be a manager in Liga MX. I mean, look what Peter Vermees, he was there for 17 damn years, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, he brought them, some trophies, but you look at his overall body of work, and the team was deteriorating at the end. Um, I mean, look, they're still in bad shape, and they made it, and they're still a bad team, and although they won, they got a long way to go before they become relevant again. And we don't
It's
want that way, like Galaxy, though. I mean, are we relevant now? No. Were we relevant
We are
like 6
very
months
fucking.
ago? Yeah.
We are very relevant all over the place.
No, for the wrong reasons though.
We're
But we
relevant everywhere else
but
except on the field.
we are relevant.
But we're relevant, yeah.
Hey,
History.
that was there was no
I
experts.
literally, I just how relevant we are. I have a friend that lives in North Carolina, and he literally messaged me about because he saw the post that we lost with 0 shots with Sporting KC, and I was like, "Fucking a man."
Let's go get Vanny Sartini. Shout out Nathan.
Yes. Nathan, can you get him on the phone, man? Can you get us Vinny Sartini so we
I
get
said
some
that.
delectable quotes after
I said
matches?
that.
But-
I said that to Eddie, and this one got fucking this one lost it.
I still do Curtin over it because Curtin's can do a lot with not so much. I want to see Curtin do what he can do with a bigger checkbook. So I would,
That Vinny. No, it's Vanny Sartini. Vanny.
Vanny Sartini, yes.
Vanny Sartini. He says he has his number. Yay.
Vanny for
Let's get
Vanny.
him.
Let's get him,
You
boys.
just said Vinny Sartini, you hear him?
We do got some questions on Instagram before we get out of here. We'll start with Adam DC26. Worst start in MLS history from an MLS champion or any MLS team to start the season.
You know what's crazy? You know what's happening?
There's Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal simultaneously. There's only 3 teams in MLS history have gone 11 games without winning in the beginning of the season, and 2 of them are happening right now. That's pretty crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Arpet Raza 83. Do Galaxy make the Nascimento loan permanent, or is he gone after this year?
I like
I
said,
think he's gone by summer.
yeah, if they can eliminate it in the summer,
Yeah.
I think they have to because we need that space.
Logan Jones. Please don't play Ricky Pooge at all this year. Let him heal for next year. This team is so sad.
See-
Hashtag fire Vanny.
I think you play them,
You have to.
but there's less urgency in bringing them back. Like if the season's a wash, it's more like getting his feet under him. There's less pressure. Actually, if you really think about it, if the season's over, there's kind of less pressure. It's not like he can come back and take us to the playoffs if it's over.
I think you bring, and if the season is watched, I think if he does come back, you probably bring it on for like a good 10, 15 minutes best.
Adam DC26. If teams stay winless in May, something has to change.
I think we
There's
talked about
pressure
that.
on Vanny, yeah.
Let me ask you guys though. I didn't get a clear yes or no from everybody. Just yes or no. We lose the next 2. You think Vanny is gone? I say yes.
No.
I say I don't think so. I don't think so.
It was a yes
I mean,
or no.
he should be gone if that's the case, right?
But do you think yes or no?
No,
Does it happen?
No.
To me,
I don't
to
think it
me,
happens.
so
to
yeah, I
me,
don't think it happens either.
you're just the standard club, bro. Like it's I don't know. Anyways,
I don't think it happens. I don't think
Okay.
it happens.
don't fall asleep, Edgar.
No, I'm not following. I'm just listening to you, and I'm looking at what Nathan just posted as well. But in my mind, I'm thinking about both things. But I don't think the next 2 matches.
It was
But,
just a yes or no, bro.
No. I said no, but I just
Okay,
feel like
cool.
not the next 2 matches, but definitely if they lose these next 2 matches and then you follow that up with like a fucking shit show against LAFC, then obviously, definitely, that'll be it.
Yeah. And stay in Trucha. The defense has more own goals than the offense does. Then the offense has goals. And that does it for the questions. Thank you guys for asking questions on Instagram. You were saying, Eddie.
No, I was just gonna add, I was gonna follow up with if Edgar said not now. He said no, but he still sees it before the end of the season. Like it could happen before the season ends, Edgar.
I think it happened before summer.
Okay, cool. Because I know you touched on it too. Yes, like you want to. We don't want to be in a U.S. men's national team fucking situation, right? Where
No,
this long search.
where you're circling the drain, right?
Yeah.
that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan offers us a glimmer of hope. See his comment. He says, "The galaxy's history sustains them. No one is scared of them." But neither says Galaxy history sustains them, but no one is scared of them. Montreal is just a dumpster fire. Galaxy at least should be able to get out of the basement. Yay!
One win is all we need, and no MLS team wants to be that one win against the LA
Nah,
Galaxy.
keep this team in the basement. They're
Uh,
embarrassing. Don't show your face in public.
Like Bart's twin
like
brother.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Bart, like evil Bart.
No, he's the good Bart.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
but
is a
you know
good
what I
Bart.
mean, right? Good Bart.
I don't want to wear the
Uh,
jersey anymore.
Oh, we can't use that word anymore, Nathan.
Oh my god.
we will be having a midweek show. Our next match is against the New York Red Bulls in New York. Edgar has a guest lined up for us. Please tell us more about the guest, sir.
Yeah, he's a good friend from MLS Cup, Bob Ventimiglia. He is the host of the pundits. I think it's called. I can't remember the name of the show right now. But yeah, he's a really good guy. We had him here for to do the MLS Cup preview, and so look for that on Wednesday. Hopefully, if everything works out, between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're gonna have Bob on. So if you guys get on there, you get on there live. You're gonna see me. You're gonna see Bryant. Hopefully, maybe Bryant, right? He'll be there.
Well,
Like
I'll be producing
talking or
it.
the ones and twos.
I'm the ones and twos.
Oh, okay. So it'll just be me and Bob then. But yeah, you guys can jump in and ask some questions, and um, I'm sure that the Red Bulls are like salivating right now, looking at the Galaxy. Like, yeah, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get you back, bitch.
the lick back, the lick back.
Nah,
Any,
bro. Teams are more scared now because they don't want to be that team.
yeah.
I don't know,
They're,
man.
they're
Those
they're not
fans,
salivating.
they're
They're
out for
just
blood,
scared.
dude.
They're scared.
Well, the LA Galaxy loses. You guys have any final thoughts on this match, on this season, on what could happen? Because it's been such a depressing season for LA Galaxy fans everywhere. 2025 has not been kind to us. The soccer gods have abandoned us and left us to die. 13 games, or what is it now? 11 games winless. It's tough.
Damn, bro, you predicting the future now, dog, or what?
Oh yeah, 13 games.
It,
The next two away, winless.
it's fine. It's fine. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Who else has an extra star?
yeah. That's. I'm
Yeah.
gonna kind of echo what Chewy said, but more like just think about how spoiled we are, right? And being from LA, also if you are like a Laker and Dodger fan, there's fucking cities, major cities that have never even been to a final or won anything. So yeah, it sucks right now, but we just as recent as last year won. So take the season for what it is, and yeah, I guess enjoy every little bit you can of it, and
When you go to the games, enjoy yourself.
yeah,
Don't do anything stupid.
go to the stadium, fucking
And stay.
look at that new fancy banner and buy your $30 nachos, whatever.
We were
And
10, 10 years. It
get
was
there,
bad, and
get
I'm
there,
9.
get there early to not get your rings. All that good stuff.
It took 9 years out of the 10 for people to get upset, and now it's one after a championship. Nah, it's fine. It's okay.
Wait another 8 years, baby. Let's go. Edgar, you got anything
Yeah.
else before we leave?
Yeah, I mean, I would go on a rant, but I'm just gonna say, I remember at the end of last season, I told a lot of people one of our shows, you should really appreciate, this moment, right? When winning the cup, and especially in a season where we really did not expect it to happen. I keep telling a lot of people from across the league, a lot of the podcasters that we talk to from different teams, I tell them, real Galaxy fans aren't really arrogant. We're pretty, you know, yeah,
Yeah,
we have all the stars and everything, and we'll mention it, but we're not arrogant about it, because we know every one of those was hard fought, and each one of them has a different story behind it, and we appreciate every single one of them. And so I mentioned appreciate this one for what it meant, because it was for the fans, by the fans, more than anything. And um, savor it as much as you can because these are so hard to come by these days, especially with the expanded league. And who knows when we're going to be in another position to challenge for an MLS Cup. But what I did not expect was this fucking nightmare of a season. We've been joking about it this whole time, like trying to slather on some comedy on top of everything, right? Trying to make ourselves feel better about it. But in the end, it's a fucking piece of shit season. It's horrible.
It's a
I
shit
mean,
feeling.
I can't imagine this in any sport. I've seen baseball teams. Like I said, baseball's a long ass season, right? But I've seen teams like there was I think the Baltimore Orioles in 1988 started the season with a 21 game losing streak. God damn, man, they were horrible that year. And last season, the Chicago White Sox set a modern day record for the most
The
losses
worst.
ever in baseball, 114 losses. That's historically bad. But that's baseball. Baseball is a huge marathon. And then we're talking about MLS. Yeah, MLS is also a long season, right? But my God, at this point, you would have at least one or two wins where you can hang your hat on those and say, "Hey, at least we got these two wins." But where everybody's pointing at you and laughing, and like it gets to the point where they can't even laughing doesn't feel good because you're like, these guys are so sorry. Like, you're not even funny anymore. You're just sorry and you suck. And that's when like, damn, it's undescribable. It's
That's
undescribable.
fine,
I
dude.
don't know.
People can say
I
whatever they want. They don't have a championship. Suck
It's
yeah,
it.
it's
Suck it.
indescribable to
damn,
me.
damn, fool, goddamn.
Suck it. You don't
No,
have a
it's
championship.
you know what? I agree with that. Agree. It's just such a shitty feeling, bro. Especially after what happened with last season. We went from being the fucking these giants in MLS who probably literally the worst start in probably MLS, the worst start ever in MLS history. Watching these guys go onto the field and not even, I guess, not even trying their best, it pisses you off, and you're just sitting there like, what's it gonna take for a turnaround? What's it gonna take to finally get that first win? It's. I go to the stadium. I go to when you go to the stadium, it's like you just feel like down. Like the last game our last home game, I went in horrible into that fucking game. I knew we were gonna lose, and just being there and the way they play, it's frustrating. But
I went I went through 2017. I didn't miss a single game. So
Same.
nah, but I get it. But I think I don't want to be that guy. But I think just what happened with me the last couple of days, it's kind of like this seems doesn't really get to me like that. So maybe yeah, it's kind of different for me right now. But
Yeah, puts
Yeah.
things into perspective, right?
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me as Bryant Nags on Instagram and Twitter. Eddie and Guti, you guys want to give out your if you guys have socials or you guys don't?
Just no, just
no,
put it out there for my little girl Nala. That's it.
Yes, sir. Edgar, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram as Edgar Nags. As always, keep on nagging and Wu Tang for life.
Chuyaso, one more. Where can the people?
You're tuned into
what
news.
the fuck just
What
happened?
was that?
Oh my god, that's it. Fuck it, we'll do it
We're
live.
gonna start again.
Chuyaso, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me as Travis J.A. Travis Han on my social media. It's pretty easy, pretty simple to find.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, that does it from us in East Coast Galaxy. From Edgar, Guti, Eddie, and Chuyaso, we're gonna get up out of here. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, keep on nagging. All right, Pinala.
Keep on nagging.
Wu Tang.